When I became a teacher, I had a vision of disrupting all the negative conditions that kept my students from realizing their full potential. Then I realized there were systems in place that would affect that vision. Today, our students and teachers of color deal with waves of inequities that prevent them from taking rigorous courses, over-suspends and pushes them out of schools, and denies them access to a culturally relevant curriculum.
We have to be aware that folks are sitting around creating policy that could potentially have a negative impact on communities of color.
We need to also consider the lack of representation that exists at an educator level, at an administrator level, all across the educational spectrum, right?
That's why I started CREED. We build policies and programs that center our students of color, and we equip educators with important skills and resources to reach every child in North Carolina's education system. We impact North Carolina schools and universities by hosting listening tours for students and teachers of color to help them better tell their stories and understand the legacy of their institutions.
We are pleased and honored to welcome you to our very first North Carolina 10 HBCU Conference Partners in Progress. Give it up for yourselves.
The NC 10 provides us a vehicle to come together, collaborate, think about challenges, and how do we best collectively solve those challenges while moving all of us forward.
We need events like the NC 10 to have a unified voice, to develop legislative priorities, and to do it as a group.
We collaborate with organizations like Latinx Ed, Education Justice Alliance, EdNC, and more to increase our scope of impact together.
Our work and relationship with CREED is really important because they do a good job of breaking down policy and the impact of policy.
Our policy briefs and legislative reports lend valuable insight to teachers, administrators, in a language that they can understand. We raise the red flag whenever there's upcoming legislation that may negatively affect our communities of color, so that appropriate action can be taken before our students are put behind. We build communities like the Freedom Hill Coalition, consisting of education leaders and organizations from around North Carolina.
I knew how to get the call out, who to talk to, how to build messaging. Giving teachers that ability is really key in the struggles that we're dealing with.
Welcome officially to Teaching in Color, day one of the summit. It is a summit designed to honor all of our teachers of color doing amazing things and also the impact that they make.
Teaching in Color is really an affinity space. It's an affirmation of educators of color who are often dismissed and kind of pushed aside.
They asked me here today to tell a story, my story, about teaching in color.
We're also trying to groom and develop leaders who are in the system through the Equity Fellowship. Teachers, principals, board members, superintendents, and reporters who can be those champions.
We need current voices to kind of shed light on what are the issues that we're experiencing and how we as teachers can advocate for those changes.
It's really around the small cohort of like-minded people who are coming together, and then that we are meeting on a regular basis to formulate these projects that can help transform the systems we work in. By transforming those underlying systems through these projects, we are affecting change across the entire system.
CREED is working for generational impact. We envision our children's children reaping the benefit of the work we are doing now.
My hope is that we see a re-emergence of educators gaining their organizational, political power.
I overcome the odds, but the data is stacked against me. I work to be an advocate so that my students will get now that taste of what is free.
Demanding that we have equal funding, demanding that we have curriculum that represents our students' culture, and demanding, not accepting, the best for our students.
If we didn't exist, who's gonna ring the alarm that there's disparities across the board in education, that one child being thrown away or pushed out of school is not okay? Somebody has to be there to disrupt the wave of inequity that for too long has existed within our public schools.
The fact that we have an amazing community out there, such as CREED, that we can rely on, and we know that we're not doing this work alone, it's very encouraging.
With the innovative approach and dedicated people, we'll win the fight for an equitable education system. CREED, the Center for Racial Equity and Education.